Hello and welcome. I'm Melissa Sterling. Thank you for joining us for real discussions with real people, and what we're looking for here is real results. We're going to share with you a couple of our experiences and let you think about it. We invite you and encourage you and welcome you to send us questions and comments so that we can all learn and grow together and make this world a better place. So, following up with what we kind of wanted to talk about, um, we visited the hospital yesterday, and it was a really fantastic experience in general because we were there visiting something that's really close, visiting someone that's really close to you. So it was, personal. But what it made me think about when I was there is about 10 months ago, I was in a bad accident, and it could have been possible that I would have needed to stay in the hospital for my recovery. When we were there yesterday, I saw a meal delivered to Shahid's grandfather, and I was shocked, absolutely shocked at what they were feeding him to be healthy and regain his strength and recover from what he went into the hospital for in the first place. I don't think that I would have been able to be healthy and regain all the health that I have in the last 10 months had I been offered that type of food other than the food that I've been able to make for myself and bring in from my community of friends. So, Shahid, why don't you bring us up to speed a little bit what's going on, and what was your experience? How did you feel?
Um, well, my grandfather got pneumonia a little while ago, so he was very weakened by that. When I saw that he was having difficulty sitting up, I realized that we needed to do something about his energy. And one thing that I've learned over the last couple of months is that when you have digestive enzymes in your food, you can process them. Your food processes them itself. You don't have to actually create the enzymes within your own body, meaning you have more energy to repair your body, to do physio, to sit up, to do whatever it is that you want to do, basically. So we actually went there with digestive enzymes, and we went there with creams as well, just to increase the circulation and also to improve his energy levels for the physio that he was planning on taking. So what happened when we first got there is we saw him, and I was right away kind of concerned that he was having a difficult time even sitting up. So we offered it to him, and immediately it's like we have to check with the doctor. Obviously, that's fair enough. Make sure that it goes with what else he's taking. Um, and then the food came, and we saw that they had brought a supplement, like a drink that had water, corn, and maltodextrin as the top three ingredients in the drink that they were giving him. And I think that there's way better things they could give him. Like even water would probably be better than that, and just having some of the stuff that would make him better faster. So.
In fairness, there was a whole bunch of vitamins and minerals and nutrients as part of that meal replacement drink.
Yeah, they had carrots there. They had bread, like they had a loaf of bread. They had not a loaf of bread, but like
No. What I mean is in that drink, there's actually beneficial things in there.
Yeah.
There is. There's lots of beneficial things in there. It's probably better than other things he could be eating.
Mm-hmm.
But just because it's better than something else he could be eating doesn't mean it's good for him. Doesn't mean that as he's laying there in the bed, trying to regain his strength to do basic things like have a conversation and sit up and walk on his own, his body is processing, corn derivatives and a whole bunch of chemicals and things that slow his body down that he's not getting any benefit out of, that are really just there to mix other things up and make sure they have a long shelf life. One of my own personal rules is I don't want to eat food that has a shelf life longer than me. And I know that, the shelf life of my skin is 30 days. I get new skin every 30 days. The shelf life of my liver is, 5 months. So I'm getting a new liver every 5 months. If the food in my fridge has a longer shelf life than the organs in my body, I'm making them more dead by using these shelf life long foods than I am giving them life.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of foods out there that they want a long shelf life because if you're a retailer, for example, you want to be able to sell your stuff. You don't want it to go bad, but at the same time, you can also be having bad food in your body that has no real anything inside of it. Like a lot of people will have stuff that they can leave in their fridge forever, but it's preserved in all kinds of.
I know.
I don't really know what they use for preservatives, but I know that for something to last for like 5 or 10 years, kind of, you got to kind of wonder, well, is that, what's in it? Like, how could carrots last for 10 years just because they're canned in something? Like, is it because they're canned, or is it because they have a bunch of stuff surrounding them? I don't know.
I don't know.
So.
I don't know. I don't know anything about canned carrots, so I choose not to eat them.
Fair enough.
I don't know what that is, so I don't eat it.
I'm just surprised at all the stuff you can leave in there.
Well, it's true. You're exactly right. So what was on his plate? He had some processed chicken noodle soup.
Yeah.
Which is, I guess, easy to chew and doesn't take a lot, and he can eat it.
Mm-hmm.
It tastes good. There was a beef and lettuce sandwich made with, it looks like whole wheat bread, which I'm sure probably tasted decent, and he could eat it. I never watched him eat it, but I'm sure he could eat it. He had a roll and that nutrient drink, which was full of chemicals and other crap.
The nutrient drink is what caught my attention.
Yeah.
When I read the ingredients on it, I wanted to take it away, and immediately I asked him, like, why are they giving him this? And what I was told is that when he had difficulty eating, this was a backup. It was something that was easy to take down and could provide him the nutrients that he needed to give him the energy that he needed.
Yeah.
So I'm not really sure if that's an okay solution or not. I mean, how else would he get those nutrients if he wasn't to take that drink and not eat?
Well, I would, if he was in my care, or I was able to, put together a solution for him, I would be feeding him Life Essentials, which is an amino acid complex, which gives your body the building blocks of protein. So instead of getting protein from a different source, where the body first has to break it down before it can transfer those amino acids into the bloodstream, and they can be transported to the different parts in the body where they need to be used by protein synthesis to turn into whatever you need them to turn into.
Okay.
But that, if you have a protein that's stuck together, it needs to get broken down in order to be delivered, in order to be used. But if you get a supplement where the amino acids are already floating around, really easy to digest, very easy to absorb, there's no energy required for the breakdown of the protein, so the body gets the benefit of amino acids.
Mm-hmm.
So that I would give him amino acids, I would give him, vitamins, minerals, and nutrients. I would want to give him blended food and get him to mix it with his saliva to digest it. And I'm glad you mentioned that we brought the creams, because I use this fantastic aloe vera cream that's like multivitamins for your skin, and you rub it on all over, and it feels excellent all the time. But when you rub it on something that's sick or damaged or needs healing, it actually works with the body to heal it. So it reduces inflammation, it increases circulation, and just the simple fact of the human touch with the lotion really stimulates. It's good for circulation, for lower extremities. He's a diabetic too, right?
He's diabetic.
Yeah. So this is going to soak into his skin, but it's all good stuff in there. It's safe enough to eat. So it's not going to change the biochemistry of his blood or the sugar of his blood. It's actually all really good for you. So between the rubbing on the outside and the feeding nourishment from the inside, and he's already getting all the love he can handle. I mean, his hospital room is full 24 hours a day with all kinds of people giving him love and support. But he needs the internal vitamins and minerals and nutrients to provide the building blocks for his body to build new cells.
Mm-hmm.
When you're old and dying, your cell turnover is slower.
And the digestive enzymes help with that?
The digestive enzymes allow the body to break down the food with assistance, as opposed to using your own energy to break down the food. It's like if you have 100% energy and you can direct this much to that, and this much to this, and this much to that, and 50 to 80% of it has to go to digestion, well, you see the effects. He doesn't have the energy to sit up in bed. He doesn't have the energy to get up and walk across the room. He doesn't have the energy to sit in a chair and enjoy his meal, as opposed to just laying in bed. He doesn't have the energy.
Yeah, because his energy's busy processing
his energy's busy doing other things.
Yeah, makes a huge difference.
So, with even further investigation, I'm going to let you know what we did at the dietitian. And this was interesting because the meal that he got followed this perfectly.
Oh, the food guide, yeah.
Yeah, we have the food guide here. We have the fruits and vegetables, grain products, dairy products, and meats and alternatives. We were looking at this rainbow last night, and what did you say? The closer to red, the faster you're dead.
Yeah, the green is a go. The red's, not as good of options. And I asked Melissa, I said, if you were to work your way down, would this be from best to worst? And what she said is, yeah, like she would go probably for this before the dairy, and she'd probably do a lot of the dairy before this, except the nuts. The nuts were an exception, and that's because they put protein stuff under meat and alternatives.
Right, like even the beans at the bottom here, we have the beans and the nuts, and those belong over in the green section, because eating those foods offer a lot of benefits and nutrients that are much more easy for the body to break down and utilize than the ones in these other columns.
Yeah.
Like personally, I eat most out of this. I do eat the nuts and the beans. You're allergic to nuts, so you don't even eat that.
No, I can't have that.
No, and you're very healthy. You don't eat any of these middle products,
Yeah.
even though that they're required or suggested that you eat them multiple times per day.
And some of them in heavy doses, like the grain products, heavy doses, milk and alternate. And you know what's funny, actually, if you look at this chart, you'll see how it goes from lots of servings a day to very few servings a day. Like with the meat and alternatives, they're recommending you have maybe 2 or 3 as an adult, but for grains and vegetables, they're recommending like 8 to 10. So it's amazing that the closer to green you get, even they, like everybody recommends more of the better stuff, right? So.
But
Moderation.
also the focus is on to make sure that you like it.
Mm-hmm. They want you to enjoy your meal.
They want you to enjoy your meal. But you know
course.
what? You can enjoy your meal made of fresh foods. Sometimes it might taste a little bit weird up front, but if you try it 5 to 15 times, you can retrain your taste buds to like whatever you want. All you have to do is eat something good for you, and then check in with your body and let your body check in and feel that real good feeling. Next time you eat that food, your body's going to think it tastes better because it knows it's good for you.
And it knows what to do with it.
And it knows what to do with
right?
it. Yeah, you're exactly right. Okay, so let's talk about meals. So this is a food day record that he got from a dietitian. It's from Alberta Health or wherever it comes from. This is not something that they made up. This is given out by government people. We're going to take photos and put a link to this video so you can see them if you want to. But it wants you to write down everything you eat and drink for 3 days, and which is excellent because if you write down your food for 3 days, you can actually look at your food and see where your problems are because you're going to see what you're doing on a daily basis. So this is their example. Meal 1, breakfast. 1 cup bran flakes with 1 teaspoon sugar and half a cup of 1% milk. 1 cup black coffee, 1 slice white toast with 2 teaspoons of peanut butter and 2 teaspoons of jam. Then for a snack, a co-op carrot muffin and a cup of black coffee. Now if you're going to eat breakfast on day 2, they've suggested a fried egg with 1 teaspoon of butter with 3 strips of bacon, 1 bagel from Safeway with 1 tablespoon of cream cheese, and 2 cups of chamomile tea, snack a medium apple.
Sounds alright.
Now,
Minus the bacon.
I have a problem with all of this. I don't even know where to start. You know what? I'm going to start with this. The words co-op and Safeway. Why are these on here? If they're trying to distinguish between what you buy at a coffee shop and a grocery store, then say that. Say a grocery store muffin. Don't single out a name brand of a location and do advertising for them on something that the government is handing out on people.
Yeah.
Does that make any sense?
That doesn't seem right to me either.
It doesn't seem right.
No.
I mean, I'm not a politician and I don't know everything about the way things work. But that doesn't seem right. That seems wrong.
It should be separated between business and government documents on health because these are food providers. You don't like they shouldn't have any say in what's recommended for people to eat.
Or President's Choice or Mrs. Green's or Planet Organic or Community Natural Foods.
None of them should be on here.
Well, but why are all those good? Why can't you say a muffin without saying it's from Co-op or without saying it's a bagels from Safeway?
Well, obviously
that's ridiculous.
It shouldn't be
That's ridiculous. Okay, that's not cool. That's the first thing that's not cool. The second thing that's not cool is none of this food is good for you. 1 cup of bran flakes, that's going to break down into so much sugar that if you're really following guidelines on sugar, you're barely going to eat the rest of the day, and you're going to get a portion of what you need in one meal, and then you're not going to be able to eat anything else the rest of the day if you're sticking with sugar. If you continue to eat foods like this, you're going to be eating probably like 10 times as much sugar as you're supposed to be having, and your body is going to be doing 10 times as much work to process that sugar to get the same amount of vitamins. And as you that's like sitting outside on a hot summer day, revving your engine to make the car warm. Nobody has time for that. Nobody has time to eat a whole bunch of sugar and not get any vitamins because that's going to make you old and sick and diseased and fat and unhappy and emotional and on and on and on. All your symptoms? Sugar. So start the morning with bran flakes. Woo! Bad idea. All right, half a cup of 1% milk. You know, that's another thing that really bothered me about what she was talking to yesterday, always with the low-fat dairy products and stuff. Okay, if you're going to eat dairy products, eat the full-fat kind. Why not eat the full-fat kind, the one that's as as natural as possible. You know, a lot of vitamins and minerals and nutrients are fat soluble. So if those vitamins, minerals, and nutrients don't have any fat to sit down on, it's like walking into a crowded restaurant and there's a bunch of chairs everywhere, but they're all taken. You might be the coolest person in the room, but if you're looking for a place to sit down and there's no spot, you're going to cruise on through into the next place, which happens to be your toilet, because if the vitamins aren't stored and used by your body, you pee them out.
So
Nobody has time for that. All right. So 1% milk, yeah, I wouldn't do that. I mean, you can't do nuts. I would do almond milk or coconut milk or, you know, even rice milk, not soy milk and not dairy milk. But if you're going to do dairy milk, it needs to be organic and it needs to have some fat in it. Like, your body needs fat. One of the biggest problems in our society is that we don't eat enough fat. That's a whole other video. A cup of black coffee. I've learned too much about coffee to enjoy it. I'm actually looking into some real healthy coffee that I've tried, and I haven't found any negative effects with myself yet, but I need to really think about it and learn about it before I can start recommending it to people. But regular black coffee is not that good for you. But if you're going to drink coffee, drink it black, so I guess that's okay. A slice of white toast with 2 teaspoons of peanut butter. First of all, any kind of bread is going to take a long time to digest and not give you any benefit. White toast, everything's been bleached out. That's gross. 2 teaspoons of peanut butter. Most peanut butters are full of confectionery products and edible oil products, and peanuts are not that good for you anyway. They're full of mold, they're difficult to digest, your body can't easily utilize the proteins in there. And 2 teaspoons of jam. Maybe if your grandma made it, but if you're buying it from the store, it's basically 2 teaspoons of sugar. So we've got a bowl of sugar with more sugar on top with some milk, which has also got sugar in it. A cup of black coffee. It's the only thing we didn't put sugar in. A slice of white toast, which will convert mostly to sugar. 2 teaspoons of peanut butter, which is made with sugar, and 2 teaspoons of jam, which is also sugar.
A lot of sugar.
You're going to be buzzing until you need your snack with your co-op carrot muffin, sugar, and some more black coffee.
She said that a muffin has more, was it sugar in it than a donut from Tim Hortons? She
did say that.
Yeah.
She said, well, I didn't think she said sugar. I think she said calories.
It was something, yeah.
And that's another thing. This whole calorie thing, confusing and, in my opinion, a waste of time to talk about. It really is. It's like, well, this has this many calories, and that has this many calories in it. And, like, I don't get it. Anyway, day 2, a fried egg with a teaspoon of butter. Wow. Well, if you're going to fry anything, you wouldn't want to use butter. If you were going to use butter on something when you were cooking, you would mix it in after. You don't want to be heating that up. A fried egg, I wouldn't recommend that to people, but if you're going to eat eggs, you want to eat the egg yolk and the egg white. Because, again, the complete food. Just like the milk, leaving the fat in. You want the complete food. If you're going to drink it real. If you're going to eat an egg, eat it real. Don't eat egg white omelets, all that kind of stuff. Your body can't get as much benefit out of it, and it's a lot of work for your body. And I know a lot of athletes will look at what they're eating and say, what are you talking about? I'm in great shape. And you know what? They are in great shape. But they're doing things every single day. In addition to the diet, they're working out a lot. If they stopped working out, they wouldn't see as good of results. And if they give themselves better food, they would see better results. You take somebody who's working out and doing all the right things anyway, and you take their okay diet and make it with a really good, high nutrient, high vitamin, high mineral content diet, their results go through the roof. It's really quite amazing. 3 sticks of bacon. As far as I know, human beings don't even have the enzyme to break down that kind of meat, so I don't know what benefit that's doing. I mean, it tastes really good. It smells delicious, but... All right, a bagel from Safeway. I think we discussed that. With a tablespoon of cream cheese. We know what I think about that. 2 cups of chamomile tea. Sure. A medium apple. Great. Now, we put Shahid's list together using all kinds of things that he doesn't actually eat, but we wanted to put things on here that were considered healthy. For instance, a Subway veggie sub with cheese, mushroom soup, 2 cookies, and a Fruitopia. Sounds like a pretty average lunch. She had a problem with the cookies and the Fruitopia, but the Subway veggie sub with cheese and mushroom soup, she was fine with. In my world, Subway veggie sub, first of all, no cheese. Second of all, no bread. Third of all, no cream-based mushroom soup. And maybe Subway serves a a broth mushroom soup that's very delicious and
Yeah.
extremely healthy, but I don't think so. So you're gonna have to look at that. What else did she say on here?
She said that, well, she said that the best things to cut out would be, things like caramel bar and beers and orange juice, and we put a few other things in there. But it was okay to keep the margarita pizza. It was okay to keep the fettuccine alfredo. Um,
Do you ever covered raisins? Granola bars?
the barbecued corn was fine. The Greek yogurt was strongly recommended, like because apparently it provides protein as well. That was one thing that she had mentioned.
Yes, what she said is that Greek yogurt has more protein than regular yogurt.
Hmm.
But your body still has to build through and break down all kinds of mucus and pus and all kinds of stuff from the dairy. So even the protein that it's getting is like a whole lot of work. And I mean, this is the way that I usually describe it to people. And most people have a job where they, make a decent living. I asked them, I said, how would you like to come work with me for 25 cents an hour? Do you want to come work for me for 25 cents an hour?
I'll work with you for free.
No, okay, you work with me for free. But would you work for 25 cents an hour?
Not for most people, no.
No. Why not?
Because I don't care about what they do.
Or it's not worth it.
Exactly.
It's not worth it. It's not worth it to go work.
It doesn't provide me enough value to make it worth my time.
Right, and that's how I see dairy. It doesn't provide enough value to make it worth my time.
Makes sense.
The discomfort, the gas, the bloating, the acne, the colds, the mucus in the body,
issues.
the sinus, the stuff coming out of your eyes, the aching muscles, the calcium imbalance, the arthritic spurs that it aggravates sometimes, different things that I've like.
The thing that got me off of dairy was the fact that they had to change their advertising from milk it does a body good to milk it tastes so good, to actually give somebody the ability to advertise something as being good for you. To actually give it and then take it away is a much stronger statement than never giving in the first place. So once I saw that, and on top of that, other information that I got from Melissa, it kind of convinced me about 3-4 months ago to give it up. And I used to get sinus infections all the time because eating cheese and things like that, it will make you stuffed up. There's no question. And since stopping that, I haven't had I've had one, and that's about it. And that was fine.
Your body's still gonna break down, but it needs those little bumps. But it's not gonna go as down as far, and it's not gonna take you as long to recover.
That's right.
It's all the ebb and flow of life.
Mm.
But yeah, if you add dairy into the mix, it'll kick you in the ass.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll take pictures of this so you guys can see it. I want to know your questions. I want to actually feel like what we're sharing with you here is valuable for you, and that you can think about it and possibly apply it to your own life. One of the things that we always talk about is how to improve our own lives. And it's good because we can bounce ideas off each other. It's nice to have somebody in your life that you can trust and talk with about stuff, who will be like, hey, you continue to do that, and that's not working for you in your life. Yeah, you're right. That's not working for me in my life. Well, when you come to that situation, take responsibility for what's going on. Be aware of where you're at, and think about how you could maybe look at the situation differently, or talk to an expert in the area that could maybe give you some ideas of things to try. And just always be a constant improvement, only in competition with yourself. The only person that you need to be better on is the you that you were yesterday.
Sounds good.
Does that sound good?
Sounds good. Okay.
Now we're going to go have an excellent, awesome, amazing, wonderful, fantastic day on this beautiful planet that we call home.
Sun is shining today.
The sun is shining today, and we will see you soon.
Okay. Take care.
Make sure you write in and give your comments, because I want to know what you're thinking.